All right, here we are at dive number 2. This was a cave dive, actually. She said, we're going into a cave. I said, is it going to be open water up the top? She said, yep. We got into the cave, and she was a liar. It was good, though. It was good. It's my second time doing that, actually. We did something similar in Cozumel. And both cases, I'm really surprised that they took us into these semi-enclosed spaces. But, it got really dark. Didn't bother me. I'm used to the dark, cold water, so no problems on that front. But anyway, here's the profile of that. The cave was in the shallower parts, so about a quarter, halfway through the dive, you can see we get down to, what is that, about 40 feet. Then we come up a little bit. I think that was actually in the cave. The cave was fairly shallow, and then we left the cave and it got deep. But the temperature graph is a little more exciting here. Started out a little warmer, got down to about the same 63 degrees at depth. Those red arrows are scent warnings, nothing to be concerned about. This one was longer too, but all right, let's get into it. So started on the surface this time at least. Yeah, you can tell it's already getting kind of hazy. I have no idea what they're doing here. Little pre-dive dance apparently. Hitting the club leader, getting ready for that. I don't know. But yeah, you can already tell the video is looking kind of hazy. That's. Man, she's talking. Oh. All good. Yeah, let's go down. Yeah, these videos are just really quiet in my headphones. I can't figure out why. I've got all my volume turned up. The rest of the system sounds are fine. I don't know what the deal is with these videos. I can barely hear them. Volume's turned up on the MPV player. I don't know. It's a mystery. What was I talking about? Oh, the hazy video. Yeah, so when you're on the dive boat changing batteries in the GoPro, and you're in between dives and you're tripping wet with gear and your hands are wet. There's some water that's going to get into the case, certainly, and probably the camera. Hopefully not much in either case, but yeah, I've looked at my GoPro many times and seen condensed water on the inside of the lens, and very hazy condensed water on the inside of the case, so that's why these videos are just a touch hazy. Also, stupid me, what is that? Can't even think of the word. Not Achilles heel, but perpetual adversary. Me and my camera, I never have this thing tilted the right way. So in this dive, I had it tilted too far down. You can tell I'm looking at my watch. If I'm looking at my watch normally and I can read it, I know we're in for trouble because that means it's tilted too far down. I think the best viewing angle is not being able to read my watch when I look at it. So unfortunately, I think a few things are missed. It's going to be at the top of the screen, that kind of thing. But it is what it is. I hope you see the purple things. I love how the color balance just goes wide. I went from blue to green in between videos there. Yeah, what was he showing us? I don't even remember. Snail? I think he was maybe pointing out a snail. He said he saw a snail the first dive. And then he said he saw a dead snail the second dive. Maybe this is the dead snail and I'm just still not seeing it. I swear, I must be blind. I have blinders on underwater. I don't see half the things that people see. We get back on the boat, like, do you see this? Do you see that? You see that? I'm like, nope. I did not. Yeah, I don't know. I was just diving last weekend, and we went on a bit of a treasure hunt. I'm getting off topic here, but it was at Mermet Springs, my tried and true home dive location. And we were getting up off the deep dock. Yeah, she saw something she was happy with, and I did not. And the guy's like, oh, I just dropped my fin in the water. And kind of talked to my group. We're like, all right, we'll go down and look at it, look for it, second dive. And actually my cousin Michelle dropped her light gearing up to go do that. So we had two things to find. We go down there, it's dark, you know. Michelle finds both things, no problem. And I'm just looking around, like trying not to hit the trees and stuff, and trying to survive at 100 feet down in super cold, super dark water. Yeah, needless to say, I don't see very much. Alright, I'm hoping to see, I hope the camera is tilted up enough where you can see the purple things here. Alright, yeah, you see those purple things? Get out of the way, Bubbles. Well, I think the best viewing opportunity was right in the way of the bubbles. There, you can't see him there. Anyway, my dive guide, I never told her name. Rita is her name. You're supposed to roll the R. I can't do that. No, I just get all gummed up. But Rita with the rolled R, I think was her name. She said those purple things are like 150 years old. They take that long to get that big. They were kind of hanging upside down. I just don't have great footage of them. So far, I haven't seen any. Oh well. There's rocks in front of my face, boy. Check those out. What's she pointing at here? Nudibranch, probably. Oh yeah, okay. This is like the only nudibranch I actually saw. This one, that was at least 3 centimeters long. Yeah, probably longer than that. I think I actually took my camera off my head, maybe. You can see it though, top of the screen. It's fading in and out. It's the white one. It's the white thing up there. There's the camera off. Alright. Oh, well. Boom, there it is. Well, then I shine a light on it and drown it out. So. But there you go. There's a nudibranch for you. I want to finish up my thought on the European stuff. So the kilograms, I just did the math. So 30 pounds is about 13.6 kilograms. Approximately 2.2 pounds for every kilogram. So yeah, 16 kilograms would be way too much. That's 16 times 2.2 is 35.2 pounds. So yeah, I put it on the equivalent of 35 pounds. That's ridiculous. That's totally explains why I was overweight. For this dive, I actually reduced my kilograms by 2. So I was diving with 14 kilograms. I took out a 2 on each side and added a 1 on each side, so that would be 14 times 2.2, so that was 30 pounds, and I was overweight at this dive too, so I noted in my log, if I ever go back to Europe and I'm in kilograms, I'm going to try with 8. I think most people were wearing 8 kilograms. That would be 2 in the pouch, 2 in the trim pocket on each side, so yeah, 8 total. So 8 times 2.2 is 17.6. Well, I don't know, 17 pounds, that's probably not going to be enough for me. Man, am I doing this math right? I still feel like I'm missing something. 17 pounds is what I wear pretty much. Well, I wear 16 pounds, a 7 mil wetsuit and freshwater. Saltwater, you gotta have a little more, so yeah, I don't know if that would be enough for me. Anyway, I'm not even watching the video. What's happening here? You see anything cool while I was yabbering on? But the biggest, that's what I wanted to say. So the biggest disconnect between the units was air pressure. So we Americans do it in PSI. The entire world does it in bars. I don't have anywhere close to an intuitive translation between those two. She didn't know either. So when she asked for air, she didn't even want me to give her a number. She just wanted to look at my gauge so she could see where the needle was. I think that hurt us a little bit because we ended the first dive pretty early. I had like much air. I had over 1,000 pounds left in there. And I think Jonas said he had just a little bit less than half a tank. I mean, we both could have went diving so longer, or we both could have gone diving longer. But I think she got paranoid about my air supply, and so we cut it kind of short. The second dive, we used more air, but I still had a very comfortable amount left, whatever it was. I can't remember exactly now. But yeah, I saw this thing. What is that? That's some kind of fish. Yeah, I got my camera pointed at something sometimes. Camouflage feller. Well, she saw him. I don't think I would have seen that. And here we're getting into the cave. We can tell it's getting darker. So she, man, I can't even quite remember now. She wanted, so on the boat before the dive, she came up to Jonas and me and made up a new hand signal for comfort level in the cave. She kind of like patted her chest and wanted us to give her a number from 0 to 5. I think 5 was like, I'm totally freaking out. We need to get out of here now. And 0 was totally fine. Let's keep going. Like I said, I grew up, I cut my teeth in cold, dark, murky water, so the darkness, you know, I had no qualms about that whatsoever. She did say it'd be entirely open water, I think. There's definitely a few times I looked up and saw a cave ceiling above me, so that was a little bit of a stretch of the truth, an exaggeration, we'll say. But totally fine, totally fine. We didn't go that deep. We did reach a point where we could have kept going, and we turned around. And they said later on the boat, yeah, if you want to keep going, then you need to be cave dive certified, which I don't think I'll ever do cave diving. Just don't think about it. I will never do cave diving. You want to see some cave diving, YouTube it. It's nuts. At least the stuff I've seen. It's these people squeezing into these tight little spaces, 100% underwater. You know, it's so tight they can't even fit themselves on their tank. They're like taking their tanks off, putting their tank through first. Then they're like squeezing through. It's nuts. Cave diving is like, you got like 4 redundancies on everything. You got all these regulators, you got all these lights. It's just, that's not for me. I don't like squeezing in tight spaces, even on land. I certainly don't want to do it underwater. Yeah, I thought that thing on the rock was something, and it really wasn't. I don't know if those white things were alive or kind of dead. We did see some fish at the end of this cave, I think. It was pretty black in here. It was dark. It's kind of hard to tell with all the lights on, but I think I turned my light off here at some point, and it's black. So you got some fishies that definitely prefer the dark. And there was a big sea anemone at the end of this cave too, which I thought was kind of a weird place. I didn't see anything else like it the entire dive, and it was tucked away at the end of this cave. So, but once again, with my crappy camera angle, you may not get a good look at it. But it was nice. Oh, the other weird thing I was trying to say at the end of the first dive, to get back on the boat, they did not have a ladder. Well, they did have a ladder, but there's a fishy. You must prefer the dark. Really very rudimentary ladder. That doesn't sound grammarly correct. That doesn't either. Anyway, very rudimentary ladder. Back by the engine, the legs, I'll call them. Yeah, you can see it's pretty dark back here. Not very thick at all. Anyway, the point being, we swam up the boat, we took off all our gear, handed it to the deckhands, and then it was kind of like a free-for-all to get back on the boat. You could either try the ladder or just kind of kick and swim up like at the side of a pool. That was weird to me. I've never done that before. I've always just walked up a ladder on a boat. I was a little worried about taking my gear off in the water. Make sure that BCD's pumped up. You don't want that thing you don't want your kid to go sinking in the bottom. But yeah, pulled out the weights. Yeah, see, here's the dark. It's dark. It's dark in there, baby. And now we're coming back out. You can see it got much lighter. But that ended up being no problem. It just different. This is different. There's a lot about this dive that was different to me. I guess it's how they do it in Europe. Let me check how far along we are. Should have a few more to go, I think. 241. Oh yeah, we got like 10 or 11 to go. Boy, I've been talking so long, my throat's getting dry. But I can't leave now. Show must go on, right? I'm in the middle of it now. I gotta pause and whatever. It's just gonna be a mess. There's a fishy fella. Yeah, so we're definitely out of the cave now. You can tell by the ambient light. But yeah, and then we drop down. That's kind of weird. Usually you want to do your deeper part of the dive first if you can. And you know, it doesn't necessarily matter, but that's just kind of how it usually works. But that cave, I guess, was shallow. Yeah, I did catch a glimpse on my computer in that cave on one of these previous videos, and I think it was like 23 feet, 25 feet. So definitely not very deep. And I guess we came out of the cave and it kind of fell off. Yeah, it was awesome. Man, I think I finally ran out of things to say. Dead air. Nobody likes dead air. Oh, I'll talk about that guy with the 3 cylinders for a second. So yeah, on the first dive, you might have seen him swimming by a couple times. I don't know what he was doing. My cousin Michelle and cousin Tim, they could absolutely tell you what he was doing. I asked him, and he said he was practicing some skills for a class that he was going to take. They had scheduled for the next day. Alright, that symbol's nudibranch, so she was pointing out a nudibranch there. But after the first dive, his dry suit leaked and he punted on the second dive, so that was the end of that. Yeah, he had the 2 tanks in the back connected to a single valve, I think. And then he had the side tank, which might have been just oxygen. Yeah, I went diving with cousin Michelle this weekend. I mentioned that already. And she and cousin Tim have gotten into side mount stuff. That guy on the first dive was not doing side mount, but I think it was essentially the same thing. And cousin Michelle had a cylinder of 53% oxygen, I think, which is well over the nitrox limit, so that means those tanks got to be cleaned a special way. They got to have special regulator equipment. They got to use special oil that's not flammable or something. It's a whole new set of things. And the oxygen, I believe, is to practice. It's something to do with decompression, mandatory decompression. You know, you go down deep enough, come up, and you got, I guess, breathe pure air, or breathe the higher concentration of oxygen for a while. Boy, I'm really struggling. I need some water. Almost done. Come on, we can power through. Oh boy, got about 8 more to go here. Maybe I'll just shut up and lay down on the music soundtrack and let that ride it out. Yeah, that guy was funny. He was flat out sleeping on the way there. You'll see it on the ride home videos. Yeah, dude just laid down on the bottom of the boat. Yep, there's some yellow sauce for you. Yeah, but I was looking at how hazy the camera lens was. Yeah, boy, those selfies never look good because you're staring into the water, so you're always like silhouetted, or staring into the light, I mean. So you're always silhouetted. This past weekend at Mermat, I tried doing some selfies with the light shining in my face, which is a little difficult because, you know, I have it strapped to my wrist, so it's like you gotta turn your wrist all the way around, and it, yeah, I don't know. We'll see how those turned out. Haven't watched the videos yet. But ooh, there's some sandy bottom. Always look for flounder and stingrays in the sandy bottoms. I remember doing that now. Yeah, I was pining to find a flounder in there. I did not. I don't even know if flounder live here. This water might be too chilly for them. I've seen them in Cozumel, so yeah, that would be a pretty big range on the temperature for a single fish, I think. Are those more of those purple things? It might be, although the ones we saw in the beginning were kind of hanging upside down. They got the same color to them. I don't know if they're the same coral or not. She had a name for them, which of course yeah. See, she wants to know my error. She just wants to look at the cage. She doesn't want me to give me a number. She wants to look at the needle. That was funny. And funny thing, I guess she and I have the same dive computer. Sunto Viper Novo 2, I think, is what I have, what she has as well. Yeah, that comes, well, definitely doesn't come with it. It comes with a capability to connect to a wireless air transmitter, which I bought. That thing was expensive, $500 maybe? No, it couldn't have been that much. I bought that thing, I'm sure I've talked about this, I bought that air transmitter directly from Europe. Sunto is a Finnish company. And yeah, I was Googling them, you know, Googling around wanting to buy an air transmitter, and they were like tons of money in the United States. And I think I found one, yeah, on a European website for at least $100 less. I think maybe more than that. And I was like, you know what? It was like European Bass Pro kind of. Fairly big outfit, it seemed like. I was like, okay, I'm going to take a chance on this. So I bought that thing from Europe. You know, they did some kind of Euros conversion. And I'm thinking, when this thing gets to the United States, I'm going to have to pay a freaking ridiculous tariff on this thing, aren't I? And, nothing, man. It took about a month to get here. I actually kind of forgot about it. I was, thought maybe it got lost or I got, you know. But, nah, it just out of the blue, kind of showed up one day. Boom. Wireless transmitter. So, she's deploying the SMB now. I haven't done this since Cozumel. I kind of wish I had given this a shot now. It's, so she's got one that's open in the bottom. So you see how she puts air in this. So it's connected to the reel. We're doing our safety stop now, so we're about 15 feet down. She just blows some excess air into that. And up it goes. My SMB is oral inflate only. So I have to take the regular air out of my mouth, hang it in front of me to a point where I can easily get to it. Put some air in that SMB, attach to the reel, not get anything tangled up, pop that regular back in my mouth before I drown. We did that a few times in Cozumel. I haven't done it since. It's a little nerve-wracking. I probably should get one that doesn't require air inflate, or oral inflate. You know, it's not empty at the bottom and just pump some air in the bottom there like she did would be ideal. The regulator can stay in your mouth. I did have the SMB with me. I usually don't wear it in lakes and things, but in the ocean, it's a good idea to have one because you never know when you might get swept away. When I was reading about those folks who drowned in Florida over the weekend, just got caught up in rip currents. Not good. I know, I'm sure that's a very panicky situation, but man, you cannot fight that thing. I was reading, even if they're moving at a pedestrian sounding 8 miles an hour, you know, that's like not even Michael Phelps swimming speed. So you try to, you know, fight that thing head on, and you're just gonna wear yourself out. You gotta swim parallel to the shore until you get out of them. You can tell I'm really running low on things to say if I'm talking about rip currents. I think we got one video left. Let's see, we're about to pop to it. How long is it? 54 seconds. This is, oh no, we got one after this. Man, I really recorded some safety stop here. I don't know why I did that. That visibility is pretty good. They were kind of complaining about the visibility, but oh, we're on the surface, so. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly did. And stay tuned for some more videos. Well, I'm gonna have the going back to shore videos, but I don't want to talk over anybody. Yeah, here comes a boat to get us. Yeah, I got some going back to shore videos, and the clouds broke, so you could tell it was very foggy in the morning, but it really cleared up in the afternoon, so you can finally see some things. And also, these are all part of the Portugal playlist, so I got hours of footage from the entire trip. If you feel so inclined, get that board. Feel free to check it out. Man. And I need some water. Thanks for watching. See y'all next time.